What's up, everybody? Welcome to With All Due Respect. I am your host, Kinda Real Nate. Thanks so much for tuning in today, man. It's been a while. It's been a long while since we've been able to do one of these. Yeah, I mean, it's been like a month and a half or so. We've had a lot of stuff change since the last time we were all together doing a podcast. So we're going to jump right into it and just start talking about the GFW and kind of what has happened since then. A lot of really good things, a lot of unfortunate things, but overall it's been really good. So, yeah, let's just jump into it. Gotta excuse me for just being by myself today. Yesterday we were supposed to do a podcast with a bunch of us, and it just didn't work out. And then this morning we were trying to get it going, but Ebarb had an emergency come up, and I'm doing this before our other buddy, our special guest, who I don't want to let out of the bag, was supposed to be with us. But lots of really good stuff, so we're just going to jump in it and start talking about it. Rocking the OMFL shirt today, representing my my boys over in the Madden community. But look, we're in a really weird place. Like, the summertime is always really tight and really tough because so many people want to be outside. It's hot, vacations, kids are out of school, and so there's just a lot of stuff going on that kind of pulls people away. But I feel like we really hit our stride in the summer here. We had the most activity. We were the biggest that we'd ever been, with the most active call. Our shows were unbelievably really good. I mean, people really were not just about winning, that they were really putting in the time to, you know, put out a really good-looking show, a show that told a story. Tons of role plays were coming in. Really hit our stride in the summer. I had our, by far, best pay-per-view, which we didn't get to cover in a podcast. We had our best pay-per-view just a couple weeks ago, Resurrection. It just was good. Like, from top to bottom, it was the best show that we'd ever put out from the GFW, even in our old days when we were the WWG. And I was super proud of this crew. And then over the last couple of weeks, you know, school has started. You know, Madden came out. A couple of other new games came out. And it kind of has curbed the enthusiasm. It's kind of curbed the activity. I know, you know, I'm part of the OCW. I've been personally busy, but I see that they're, you know, they hit a lull usually late in the summer, and only like the very few dedicated people really keep the things going. I personally have just been traveling a lot. I've been traveling for the past month. All across the country for work, but that travel is now over. My Madden League is running, and so I'm going to have more time to kind of dedicate to doing these podcasts and getting these shows out and just kind of getting things going. But if you look all the way back to our last like official show that came out, card number 46, it was a Chaos Show. I think this was called The War Begins. This is the first show after our pay-per-view, building to the next pay-per-view, which was called Wrestle Wars, which will come out in 2 more shows. We had a couple new guys join, Semino, TJ Williams, and kind of like a lot of new guys, right? They drag their feet. And in my opinion, if you can't, you know, get your stuff posted, play your FPR match, get approved, get on a card, get 10 days after you're on a card to actually play your match, submit your content. Like, if you can't do that in 10 days, you just, this isn't for you, right? Like, you don't have the time, you don't have the want to be here. Man, I was getting messages every day for like a month and a half about joining. We had new people joining constantly. They just don't last, right? And again, learning from the OCW, which shout out to those guys. I've been watching a lot of their podcasts lately. I've missed the last couple. I watched a couple of their live streams that they do, and they gave us some really kind words, and I appreciate that from them. Good group of guys. I enjoy being there. I just have been busy. I haven't even been able to have the time to put into my own league. Of course, they're not booking me. They shouldn't be booking me over there. I haven't been active, but I'm hoping now that things are settled, I can be more active there and just kind of help. They don't really need my help anymore. Turmoil is going really, really well over there, but I appreciate the shout out from all those guys over there. And so, again, guys joined here and then just kind of wouldn't get their stuff done and just kind of disappeared. And so for this card, Semino and TJ Williams both didn't get anything done. We had to write those guys off. The Dustin White Tex match was really, really good. There's a really neat storyline going on here between Hired Guns, one of the bigger fractions that we have here, and like a couple of their like main characters, and kind of a split that they're kind of leaning towards or saying that they're going to have. So like that is kind of telling some of that storyline about what's going on there. But I got to give it to you. I'm going to talk about card 46 here, just kind of in general terms. Let's get the cat out of the bag first. Couple guys, rejoined. Logan rejoined. Was here for like 2 weeks. Didn't say a word. Didn't answer a PM. Wouldn't respond to me. Just said, hey, I want to rejoin. Joined the chat. Told him, all right, just like, you're in. Just kind of re-upload your call. Let's take a look at it. Didn't do anything. I finally removed him last night because he won't answer PMs. And if you're not going to respond and talk and communicate, then like there's no sense of having you here. And I think it all kind of stems from his buddy Dirk, who is the rookie champion here. Actually, no, he was the rookie champion here. He went ahead and he did lose at the pay-per-view, but excuse me, something's up with my throat. He didn't drop. I mean, he lost the rookie title at the pay-per-view. Was still the #1 contender. His second call also won like a big match and was going to get an opportunity to go for that same belt. We had plans during this show building to Wrestle War to actually do away with the rookie title. We still may go in that direction and just try to make a big thing out of the Intercontinental and the U.S. title, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. Anyway, Dirk just out of the blue quits. No real message. He sends me like a PSM message, which is lame. Like I'm never going to answer PSM messages. It's not what I do. A big part of our community here, one of the key core leaders. Come to find out, again, I didn't get the whole story. Still don't know that I have the whole story, but he has his own league, which is totally cool. We tried to merge those two. Just didn't work, didn't happen. He still kind of runs his own league, but he was still super active here, which we appreciated. And then out of the blue, come to find out, he was using some of our really key core people here to help him in his league. Totally fine again. But there was a falling out. There was a disagreement. That didn't work out, and abruptly he now quits here, assumingly, over that. He gives me another story, which is probably also true, but said he just was in a bad headspace. Need to take some time off. Like, I want to be respectful of that, honor that. Like, yo, go do you, right? Like, take your time off, get yourself in a good headspace. If it works out later and you want to come back, let's talk. Let's make it happen, right? 7 days later, he rejoins the chat. Again, no message, no, hey, you know what, blah, 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 here's what happened. Just abruptly rejoins the chat because he has the link. So I send him a message, and I'm like, yo, like, what's up? He says, it's been too long, I'm ready to rejoin. Like, it's been 7 days. I'm very confused by this. Like, what's up, right? And he didn't like the way I responded. I just told him, I was like, you don't get to call the shots of when you leave here and when you rejoin. Like, that's not how it rolls here, right? Like, we have people who are dedicated, put a lot of time and effort and energy here. like this is their home, this is their place. They're trying to help us build this into something special. Like you don't get to decide I'm hopping off and on this train whenever I'm good and well ready. So anyway, he didn't like that. He told me don't worry about it. I sent him a couple of messages. Hopefully he responds. Disappear. Yes, disappear. I have kids, as you can see. This is real life. Life happens. Things happen. Kid bothering me. Anyway. So yeah, hopefully he and I can come up to some kind of agreement. But I have no interest in people flip-flopping, coming in and out. Like, much love, much respect, no hate, no hard feelings. Just not the way we're going to roll here, right? You need to kind of make a decision if you're going to be on or off here. So again, getting that out of the way, we've lost some people, right? We lost both of those guys from that league, but at the same time, we had another guy who, was booted, asked to rejoin, told he can give us some time. He gave us some time. He rejoined. Less than 2 days later, after I put him on a card, he disappears again. It makes no sense. So it's like, why bother us if you know you don't have time? It just doesn't make sense. So anyway, that stuff's out of the way. Let's talk about the card. I got to give props. A couple of really big props here is like Xander, Basham, Emily, Taylor, Aaron. I can't say the other name. Lilith. Unbelievable. Like, new calls, new stories, tons of role plays. It has been unbelievably good and like super awesome, great stuff that's been coming out from them. And I gotta, on this card especially, it really showed in the pay-per-view as we had our first like official women's match. But then it really showed in here with this tag team match. These women stole the show. Like, by far, this was the main event. I should have probably put it as the main event, but we had some storylines that I was trying to stick to. And by the time, like, I get everything, it's a little late in the game. By far, the women's match not only told an amazing story and was a really good match, like, visually to watch and competitively to watch, but it also like had some additional things that they added onto the end, that additional work that just put the whole thing over the top. It just was amazing. By far, these women are still in the show. And now that I've kind of seen what they're doing, like, I feel bad about my storylines, which are kind of starting to go cold. There's a little one there with Captain that we're telling, with Wolf. But like, they're making me feel like I'm being lazy. Like, I got to step up my game. These girls are putting in work. And they are still in the show, and it's going to lead to us doing a women's match at Wrestle War for a women's championship, because by far they're still in the show. Go back and watch this show. We didn't get to do watch parties. I was traveling, and it seems like nobody else could step up to the plate. Ebarb's been really busy lately. Pizza's been really busy with school starting. Wolf, E-Flow, whatever you want to call him, he's kind of stepped up to the plate. He's going to be our special guest that'll be on one of these shows here pretty soon. But even, like, he's been the one that stepped up and tried to help fill in the gap, but he's been kind of by himself, and the chat's been quiet. So I'm really hoping we can get some more momentum. We're towards the end of the cycle here. This will probably be our last pay-per-view, and then we'll get ready. By the time we end this last pay-per-view, we'll be towards the end of September, early October. We'll take a little, couple week break, or maybe we'll get a couple more shows in. I don't know. But it's going to lead to our big, WrestleMania type pay-per-view, which will kick us off. Will kick off every season, and that'll be WrestleFest. And so Wrestle Wars will wrap up every season. WrestleFest will kick off every season, and so that'll give us something to kind of wrap up WWE 18 and then move into 19, which everybody's super excited about. The game looks great. The few little things I've seen, and I can't wait to get going again, because this this whole like Madden, listen to me, I'm in Madden mode, WWE game has been, like, we've added some really key core pieces here, and I've seen us not only like get a rule set that we enjoy and that works for us, but people have learned how to put on really pretty shows and pretty matches that are visually appeasing to watch, and they're telling great stories. And look, we're getting 50, 60 watches on our shows. I could care less if people outside of this community watch. Like, as long as people in this community watch and enjoy what we're doing, that's what this is all about. So, like, props and kudos to all of you guys. Thank you for all the hard work that you're putting in. And this was a really, really good show. It was kind of a short show. I say that, like, I remember when we used to have 30-minute shows. Now every show's at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. But, like, this is a really good show that you should go back and you should watch. And that kind of brings me to my next point that I want to make before we get to Chaos 47. And that's a new addition to the community, Order to Chaos. And this is something that a couple of different people have been working on, and it is really, really good. And so they just cover the last either card or pay-per-view. This was the Resurrection results. It kind of goes through and shows exactly what they covered. And then it's like just a TV show, right? And it's just a good read. It's funny. I'm using it as in my role plays as something that I can call back to. It's just really, really, really good. And I appreciate, this is a lot of work. Like, this is not a 5-minute thing. Like, you can see 96 views on this thing. This is really, really good. Props to these guys for putting this together. Like, this is a major addition to our community, something that I hope stays and becomes like a very big part of who we are and what we do. Yeah, and I just, look, it's easy to talk about all the things that have kind of went bad and the momentum that we've kind of lost. But at the end of the day, like, I couldn't be more honored, proud, happy, respected, like whatever word you want to put on it, of the new additions that we've had here. And eFlow has been a massive piece to that, as well as has been, some of our other, especially our only real lady that we have here. She has been amazing. I get everybody's calls confused. That's who I am. I got a lot to remember, but like, you guys know who I'm talking about, and her boyfriend who's here. Like, you guys have been such a key core piece. We've recently talked about trying to find some leadership roles there. But I think until we figure exactly what that looks like, you guys are leaders, and you're a big part of what we're doing here. And with you three additions, along with Pizza, myself, Ebarb, like, that's a really great core to build off of. And then you just add in the addition that we have of, like, Dawson and these other people, right? Like, I don't want to go through everybody, but we have really, really good people here. I just, I want to see us take it to the next level. And I understand that we're towards the end of WWE 18, and everybody's kind of ready for 19, but that's kind of the next step that I want to see us do. We're taking that step when we get into our arenas and the extra work. Like if you want to learn what it takes to get any, like, call your own shots around here, go watch what eFlow does and just copy everything he does. Like, just be honest, like, his matches, his extra work, his role plays, his extra content. You go copy what he does, and you call your own shots. You can call what belt you want, when you want it. Like, that guy has been such a massive piece. To be honest, he's kept it going the last couple of weeks. Ebarb has been a little unplugged. Calling him out for that. He's busy with work and stuff. I've been traveling. I literally have been gone for the last 3 weeks. And Pizza's a young guy in college, and so there's only so much that he can actually do. And so you guys have carried it, and I want to let you know that I see you. I respect that, and I am so super appreciative of what you guys have added here to the community. So this is card 47. This is the card that's out right now. There's going to be a love seat with Luna. She's going to kind of talk about the additions and subtractions that have kind of happened over the last couple of weeks. You've got a tag team match right there with Redneck and Rampage. That's our tag team champions against the War Boys. Emily versus Lilith. Dustin versus Captain. Got to get that match in. Saban versus Captain. Got to get that match in. My matches have not got in. I've been super busy, but I'm home. I'm going to get those in. And then Xander versus Uptown for the rookie #1 contender. Got to find a new #1 contender since our other calls have disappeared. I got to figure out exactly how I'm going to make that work on the show and write that off. But I got to figure that out. So just a couple last little thoughts is this is with all due respect. And so with all due respect, I love my two guys that I've started this with. Ebarb is a personal family friend, like a son to me. I actually married he and his wife. He was in my youth group when I was a youth pastor way back when. And my kids know him, like intimate family friend. who's been busy with a new job and a wife and all that other fun stuff. But I got to call him out. And here's what my thoughts were. It was like when I watch things like, Naito in New Japan, kind of in his own like very unique way. What Jericho is doing in New Japan in his own very unique way. What The Miz is done in the WWE. Like when they take these belts, right, and they, as a character, make the belt worth something with their role plays, with their storylines, with everything that they do. Even if it's a belt that nobody cares about, they make you buy in and care about what it is that they care about through the stories they tell. And our Intercontinental and even now the U.S. title have completely almost vanished. I mean, those two champions have told no good stories. There's no draw. Like, why would somebody want to go after that title that it's not special, right? Dirk, at least for a little bit, made that rookie title special. The WWE Championship that Cactus holds is always going to be special. We struggle with trying to find out, like, who's going to go there. I've been lucky. I am not the best player here. I've just been lucky to win my matches when they count. And somebody's going to take that from me soon. I'm completely blown away that I've held the title this entire WWE game, because I shouldn't. Like, I know who I am, and I like to tell stories and have fun, and I have worked on my game, but like I've been busy. I haven't even picked up the game in 2 weeks. So tell good stories. Like, I'm calling, with all due respect, I'm calling out our Intercontinental and U.S. champion, because you're not telling good stories. I mean, there was kind of like a little something going on with Dustin and Uptown, but that's kind of phased away here lately. Uptown's been super busy. He's working stupid, like double shift, crazy hours lately. But tell like good. I want to see good stories, right? I want to see Basham, who I think, if I got this right, is our rookie title. We're going to try to get something going with him and Dustin. Going to merge those titles, just make it the Intercontinental title. I know that number one contender is probably going to go for that Intercontinental title. Maybe it's a triple threat. I don't like having to create what it should be on our end. I want you guys to figure this out, tell really good stories, and make me want to go after these titles. Like, Aiden's supposed to be a jerk and supposed to be telling these titles of this, he should be saying that the U.S. title is greater than the WWG Championship, or I say WWG, the GFW Championship. I'm getting all my names mixed up here this morning. But he's not telling any stories. There's nobody who's pushing for that. I tried to do the captain thing because he's all Mr. America, but I lost. I lost twice or 3 times, right? And I don't deserve to keep going for that, but like, there's got to be some stories here. So I'm just trying to get a little shot of momentum, a little enthusiasm, tell good stories. Go look at what the women are doing. These women are telling amazingly good stories in every match that they do. Like, they're putting in the work. They're telling extra stories. They're doing it. They're making me buy in, and they're making me take notice of something that was supposed to be like a secondhand thing. Like, they're about to start main eventing all these cards. They may main event. They're probably going to main event Wrestle Wars. I mean, it's going to be our first women's main event for the title, because they're telling amazing stories. And, E-Flow's always going to be on the top of this card. He's always going to get some big spotlights, even though he doesn't want that. He actively asked to not have it. He's actively asked to not have title shots. But the guy's like putting in the work. He's telling the best stories. Like, we got to put the spotlight on the best stories. And so, yeah, I'm calling out myself. I'm calling out Dustin. I'm calling out Aiden. You guys got to tell better stories. I got to figure out how to tell a better story with the championship. It's been lame. It is the world champion, and I got to tell better stories with it. I'm telling a little story there with Captain, and that's a fun thing. But I got to tell a better story with the GFW Championship. I keep going back to the WWG. For those who don't know, the WWG was what this originally was. It fell apart after like a year. I went off to the OCW, learned everything that I learned, mixed it with what we knew with the WWG, and we formed the GFW as a brand new thing under Grown Folks. And so, yeah, that's where we're at. There's been a lot of people asking for dark matches. I think everyone's schedule has not fit lately. And it's just been like it's been that time of the year. It happens. Everybody's super busy. But, man, it's time to get a little shot of momentum in the arm and start figuring some of this out, because WWE 19 is coming out here in the next month and a half or so, and it's a fun time to be here. And this is a fun league, and I couldn't be prouder of the content that we're putting out. And I do think that we're a low kept secret, and that this is a fun show to watch. And yeah, like anybody who pours into this, like, again, I go back to the OCW. Those guys have been doing this forever, right? Like I have been from Madden. It's easy for me to look at a Madden league because I've got 21 years into it and say, critique and pick apart and like nitpick every little thing. I'm sure that people like the OCW could do that to our show, right? They can nitpick every little thing. It's not a perfect show. But man, I am like, this is good content. These are fun stories to watch. I love our watch parties. Yeah, it's been busy for me. I'm going to own that, and that's why, maybe a little loss of momentum here. But I'm back. I shouldn't be traveling. Maybe not for the rest of the year. If it is, it's going to be a little short trips, nothing big. And so, yeah, I'm home, and let's get this thing going, man. I'm going to invest in the time into these podcasts, get these out every week, or at least as it fits, every 10 days as we get cards. eFlow has saved me all kinds of time doing the role play cards for me. It's really shortened the production time on the shows to get them out. This last one took forever because I was traveling for 2 weeks and just literally was not around. So just lots of really good things. Look, do it. Put in the work. Let's get good shows. Let's have some fun. Let's get this chat going. Find some new people. Help me talk to your friends. Help me talk to your connections. Let's find some new people. Let's get some new blood in here. Let's get ready for WWE 19. But before we even get there, it's Wrestle Wars time. So lots of fun stuff. All right, much love. God bless. We'll see you around the corner. Deuces.